There's this song, you know Ernie from Sesame Street? Hello, and welcome back to this week's episode of Yep to My Yap. I'm Erica Starr, and today I'm here with...
Steven. I'm back again for round 2.
Yeah, and this time with this setup, because he was here back on from the what's it called? The couch episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're happy to have him again. So, how are we feeling? What's going on? How's life been since last time?
Life has been lifing, working a lot, getting stood up like 3 times in the last month and a half. So,
How'd you manage that? That's not fun.
I don't know how I managed that. Remember the last time I told you about the girl from DC?
Mm-hmm.
I was going on a little weekend trip, and I just so happened to link talk to someone on TikTok that lived out there,
Mm-hmm.
and we planned the date. I set the reservation up, and the day of, I just got no response from her.
What?
We were texting the day before, the day that I got there. I got there on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and the next day, I took a shower, got out the shower. I was like, hey, good morning. I just want to know where your address is so I could, plan ahead and see what time I should leave and,
Mm-hmm.
plan my day out. Never got a response.
What?
So,
Wait, did you have to pay for the reservation?
if I didn't cancel in time,
That was
right?
enough time?
I don't know. I didn't get charged, so I
Okay,
guess.
so you're good.
But the funny thing is, I wasn't really bummed out about it because I save fucking money,
Yeah.
I'm always down for
But
saving money.
still, you got your nails did, and
You're right, I did, yeah.
You brought your little outfit.
Yeah, I brought the slacks and the button-up shirt and everything like that.
Yeah.
I was ready. I was gonna get flowers and everything too. Pull up with flowers in the passenger seat.
Oh.
Yeah. But I wasn't really bummed out about it, for real. Something funny that happened later on, I was getting ready to go out, and I got a text, an automated text from the restaurant, and they were like, hey, Steven, just want to let you know that your reservation's in the next hour or so, or 30 minutes, something like that.
So that was still enough time to cancel the reservation?
I guess. And then I texted back just, fucking around.
Yeah.
And I said, she flaked on me with the sad face. And they texted back, do you want us to cancel for you? I was like, yes, please. And they did.
God. You know what? There probably was a fear and they just didn't do it because...
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was funny though.
What'd you do that day? Did you?
So I forced myself to go to the strip and just try finding a bar to just have drinks and try socializing because I have social anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I probably walked up and down the strip 3 times trying to force myself to go into a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I just finally found one. I asked the bouncer, I was like, yo, is there a cover charge to get in here? He was like, nah, you good. I was like, oh, okay. I'm not from here. I'm just, trying to, see what's up. He was like, nah, you good. So I went into the bar. The bartender, she got me right. The drinks were great. I got drunk within 2.5 cups.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't eat all day, I think. Well, I did eat earlier on in the day, but I was on an empty stomach when I went there. And once I started feeling it, I was like, yeah, put an order of that Rasta pasta right now for me. It sucks getting stood up.
You said you had 3 times.
Yeah,
What happened
3
the other time?
times. So the DC was number 1. There was another girl on Instagram that she claims she wants to see me. She's always responding to my stories and saying all this stuff. And she's like, oh, well, set it up. So I was like, all right, I'm going to set it up. I asked her if she was free for a certain weekend. She said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she said drinks or hookah, she'll be good with that. She loves hookah. She loves, eating.
Nice basic woman.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, bet. I remember she said she liked a certain spot around, Williamsburg. So I set the reservation up. I was like, is this time good for you? She's like, yeah, perfect. So I want to say that was on a Thursday. I hit her up about the reservation and it was for Sunday. She seemed excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Friday comes. I text her hey, am I picking you up? Same thing. I want to know where your address is so I could pick you up, know ahead of time. And she was like, oh, I was thinking about meeting you there.
I mean, that's fair. She doesn't want to give this random stranger her address. That's cool.
Yeah, but the response, the way she texted it was a little too bland for me. I don't know. It was something was off with the energy on her end. So I was like, okay, are you going to Uber it or drive there? And she's like, Uber. So I said, okay, so I'll just drive you back home. Didn't get a response back. But that was whatever. Like, I just let it be. So,
That sucks. Like,
but no, that wasn't it.
there was
So,
more. How can you get stood up more?
no, I'm saying like that was on Friday. So
Yeah.
Sunday comes, and I was already getting feelings for this. Like she was gonna stand me up, like stand me up.
Mm-hmm.
So Sunday comes, and I hit her up probably 4 hours before the reservation, 4 or 5 hours, and I was like, "Hey, are we still on for today?" Didn't get a response. And she was on Instagram too, like viewing my story.
That is disgusting.
I was
See,
like, okay.
those are the girls that give the rest of us a bad rep because if there's anything I can't stand is a flake. That's
Oh
my
God,
biggest thing.
yeah.
Both like relationships, friendships, I don't care what it is. If you don't respect my time, you don't respect me. That's a whole other thing. Cause like you live far out. Like to
Yeah,
be,
right.
And did you still go? Or you just did something else that night?
No, I just stood home. I played the crib.
That's the saddest part. I hate that. I don't
know.
like that you stood home. Like that is the night that
I
you're
know.
supposed to go out and be like, you know what? I would have been with a loser tonight, but now either you're with the boys or something looks better than what she was or whatever. Not to be that girl, but I'm just saying.
But
ugh.
I think I was happy staying home anyway because it was raining that day. It was it wasn't the
guess.
greatest weather. So that was that. And then she had hit me up the following day saying like, oh, I'm sorry. She sends a picture of her dad in the hospital or whatever.
Hospital, schmospital. Reschedule, bozo. You could have said, I'm at the hospital.
Right.
And you could have been Superman. You could have been like, I'll come and comfort you. But she didn't even want it. Loser. Oh my
Man.
gosh. I don't care. Like, I'm sorry. But there's certain things where it's just like, you could just say that. Like,
I know.
Bro, like, I have friends who like, what was it? It was like, it had some kind of event. My friend was like, hey, like my face is like swollen. I'm like dying or whatever. I'm so sorry I can't make it. Sends a picture of their swollen face. And I'm like, girl, it's fine.
Do
like
what you
it's
gotta do.
A-okay. Just, I'm glad you said it and that's it. Move on. It's whatever. But she could have,
Yeah.
But I'm sure when did she send the message the next day? First thing in the morning or like later in the day?
Around like 10 o'clock in the morning.
You see, she woke up like, I gotta remember to tell this guy why I flaked on him yesterday. Well, now you never want to see her again. I hope. I don't know. I mean, if you want to see her again, go ahead. But
honestly, like, she's like, oh, I'm going to make it up to you. I was like, okay.
All right, you make the reservation then. You pick me up.
Right.
This is my address.
Right.
Ugh.
All I said was, hope your dad was okay. Like, that's all I said. And then I didn't respond after
Better
that.
than me.
I'm too nice. I'm not gonna lie. I could be a little too nice. A lot of people tell me that, but it's just how I am. But then she just kept on. She texted me the next day, a sad face. Didn't respond to it, and then she sends something else like, "Oh, I'm gonna make it up to you again." And I was like, "All right, whatever." Like,
Like, do something about it. Like,
yeah. And then till this day, she's just like, she'll reply to my stories and act like she wants to see me and stuff like that. And I told her, I was like, listen, the ball's in your court now. I'm not trying. I'm not trying anymore.
Yeah, you put in the effort the first time. And then after that, yeah. No, I get that 100%. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Girls could be mean. Guys could be mean too. But I mean, when girls get stood up, it's more of like you said, like we're usually waiting at home because the guy's going to pick us up. So it's either we're home or we're home, With the guy, it's like they got to put all the effort. And then to find out she's not going to come, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Not only did I get dressed, but I made it out here. Like, what's going on? I'm sorry.
That's all right.
No, it's not. I would be starting a riot.
It's fine.
Like,
I'm so.
Nah.
I got stood up another time, like 2 weeks ago, probably. But it wasn't like a date. It was more like a sneaky link type of thing, It's been like 2 years since we saw each other, We're just like,
Oh, that would have been a nice little rendezvous.
Yeah, we would have had a nice conversation.
It's been 2 years. Why were you guys gonna see each other now?
I mean, we always like were cool on Instagram. Like we went to college together. Didn't do anything until like 2021, 2022. I want to say. Messed around for a little bit, and then she got into something. I got into something, and we just kind of like drifted off. But we were still cool on Instagram. There was no beef, nothing like that.
Nah.
But we were like, oh, like let's see each other. So I was like, all right, bet. I get off work at 11 o'clock on this day. It was
Sheesh.
all summer. I got off
That
at 11
was
o'clock.
the sneakiest of links.
Yeah, she was kid free. I had no work the next day. I was off.
No, that's like nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, listen, can I at least like shower at your crib? I'm gonna bring clothes. She's like, yeah, like no problem. She's like, but I'm gonna be out with my coworkers, just letting you know. Like, I'm gonna have a drink with them first, and then I'll meet you at the crib. So I was like, yeah, no problem. Like, just keep me updated. So she lives in Harlem. So I'm taking a trip from Staten Island.
Yeah.
I texted her. I was like, hey, I'm about to start driving over there after I get gas. Didn't get a response. I was like, whatever. I'm not stressing it. She's out, Cool. She's probably ending it soon. I get to Harlem, around her block. I text her like, hey, I'm in your area. No response. So I was like, maybe she's still out. I finally found parking. I was circling blocks.
You at least know where she was? Because you could have gone to the place.
No. I didn't care to ask, to be honest. Like,
all right, but
that's just me. Like, I don't want to be all up in your business. I don't want to be
all up in the business. I don't care how close we are. I want to know everything.
But yeah, I parked. Mind you, it was like 12:45 at night. I texted her like, hey, like I finally found parking. Like, just let me know what's up. Still no response. I stood there for like an hour. I called her, didn't get a response. Like, there was no pickup.
Oh my God.
So I was like, have a good night. I just went home, went to bed. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Please do be sorry though.
And then I broke the drought. Some girl actually hit me up that I've also had I haven't had a thing with since like 2022.
Oh, so you just got a whole bunch of old flings just kind of queued up.
She just hit me up. She's like, oh, like when are you gonna, when am I gonna take you out? Like, when are you gonna get tricked on? I was like, see me tomorrow. She took me to American Dream Mall.
Is this
recently? Yeah, you saw what I was there. Yeah.
Wait.
I was there.
But is this the one you told me about?
No.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah, you're making me look bad.
No.
Like, which one?
No, but I don't know. But this sounds like the one that you don't
Which
see.
one?
The one you don't see often. That I don't think her friends know or anyone knows. Like her little secret.
Damn, which one is that one?
The only one in this category. I don't know how much I can say.
You can say whatever.
The older one.
Oh.
Was it that one?
No.
Oh, it just felt like it. It felt very sugar baby.
No. She's still around. I'll never let that go. Shout out to you, baby. Got okay, mommy.
You disgust me.
No, it wasn't her. It wasn't her.
Oh.
But
So this one just likes you.
No, this one she just likes fucking around with me.
And spending on you?
Oh yeah, she'll spend.
Yeah, I don't know a man that I'd do that much for.
She took me to American Dream Mall. We went to some restaurant. Some like he's like a chef on Iron Chef or whatever, like one of those guys. Food was fire, right? Oh, it's a funny story real quick. We go into the restaurant and we go to a table and I'm like, what seat do you want? Do you want to sit on this one or the other one? Because the one like facing the exit looked more comfortable. Like
that's
it had
what
like
you're
more
supposed to sit on.
Right, but it looked more comfortable. I was like, oh, if you want to sit in a more comfortable seat, like you could take that one. She's like, no, you can sit there because I know how guys feel about having their back towards the exit. Right, like I get it.
Yeah.
I was being, trying to be kind or whatever. So I was like, you're right. So we sit down and she's like, you're supposed to protect me anyway. So I said, just like joking around. She wasn't really serious, but protect the woman.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm the celebrity, so you should be protecting me. Joking around,
I'm like calling her a bodyguard. Might as well call her a dude.
She was like, oh, you're right. You are a little celebrity now, right? Because, my TikTok and shit. So, kid you not, 2 minutes after that, we're waiting for our drinks. Some guy's walking by. He was like, oh, shit, you're the bus driver from TikTok?
Oh, my God.
I was like, yeah, what's up, bro? Shake them up. He was like, my dad works at MTA too, da-da-da. Chopped it up for him for a little bit.
That's a weird little like.
It was weird, but like the timing of it was so perfect because she hasn't seen me since before like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say this girl must have been around for a hot minute.
Before that, yeah.
Before the
TikTok
fame.
thing, yeah.
My fault.
Yeah,
What was that like? Because I know when like I mean, obviously, I don't know if I knew you before or in the midst of.
In the midst,
of that. I just remember when I saw when like your NYC posted you, I was like, I know him.
Shout out to your NYC. They posted me a couple times.
Yeah, they post you a lot. I was just like, that's crazy. What is that like?
It was very random. I want to say my first viral video went around 2022, I want to say, like early 2022. And I thought it was just like I got lucky, you know, a one and done video. And then I started realizing that there's a niche for guys in uniform. Or like bust. Like
actually, wait. This is a little sidebar, but I have a friend. I was like, oh, because like she's always on TikTok all the time. And I was like, what did I say? I was like, oh, this is something, my friend Steven, da-da-da. And I showed her like a regular picture from your Instagram. And she was like, oh, I don't know who that is. I showed her one in your uniform. She's like, I know who that. I was like, get out, bro. It felt like when Perry the Platypus puts his hat on. It's like, Perry.
That's so
that's
funny.
What that felt like. I was just like, are you for real right now? It's just navy blue. But she was like, no, I know her from there. Yeah. I like
that's
that guy.
Hilarious. But yeah, it just, you know, I started posting more work related stuff and it just caught on. And
do you put which like bus you drive like on public places?
I have before, but like I don't really like.
That would be creepy.
Because I don't have like the same. I don't work the same route every day. Like I do something different every day or every week. I do something different. So you're not gonna catch me on that all the time, you know. But I have. But whenever someone asks me when I'm on live or if they comment on my videos what depot do I work out out of, I don't respond to that.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I was like, that's a really easy way. Because it's like, yeah, you got the girls, but then there's also like the hater dudes who are just on.
Not even hater dudes. Like there's, I don't want to sound mean, but there's a lot of guys, some girls too, that just have an obsession over buses. We call them bus buffs. That's what everyone calls them, bus buffs.
Who's everyone?
People who work for MTA, like that know who they are. Like these kids, you might see one day too. Like if you're at a bus stop and you see a kid just randomly recording a bus, pulling up to the bus stop or pulling off, that's a bus buff.
Wait.
Like they know the models and everything about it. They like to ride the buses for no reason, just to say they rode that route.
It sounds like a little tism thing, though. Leave the bus buffs alone.
You said it, not me.
I fucking love the Museum of Natural History. That place is so big. I feel like have you gone to the planetarium?
A long time ago.
Oh, you gotta go. There's this thing. Ago. I don't know if it's Ellen DeGeneres that narrates it, or Oprah, or Whoopi Goldberg. It's one of the three. And that's a really random three, but it is one of them. And you look up, and it's like this dome, and you see the stars and the planets, and they're like, you are nothing but a little speck. Pretty much telling you how insignificant you are in this galaxy. And I'm just like, you know what? You're fucking right. And you just get out of there and just like, wow. Like, the planetarium, that's one place. Yes. I went to the Met once for school. It's cool, but if I was like a little more like arty-farty, I'd be going there a lot more often. The Bronx Zoo, feeding some fucking goats. Amazing. That's
fun.
I just love it here. Like, I haven't been able to rant about New York in a minute because everybody hates it. But you're a bus driver, so you have no choice but to love it. Riding the train, when you ride the right train, I used to have to take the train from Industry City, and you're in a train above the ground for a long time, and you're just passing by. I don't even know what body of water that is. So nice.
Industry City, Sunset Park?
Yeah.
What train are you getting on? The D train?
I think so.
Probably the D train.
To get to like the 7 or to get to, at some point I got to get to the L or the G. It was one or the other. I don't know, but I was
D or N train probably.
I was above the ground and I was just like, wow, I love this city. That there's a lot of other New York things like it's great.
You want to know what I haven't done yet that everyone I feel like is doing? What? Those immersive museums with like it has like projections on the walls and shit like that.
Because that's a date place. That's somewhere you go with someone you actually like, because there isn't much to see. You got to be there and talk to somebody and sit there.
No, I'll trip out there.
Well, I don't know. It's not me.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say I did anything. But I like to trip out.
Nah.
Yeah.
But I would like to go. I think the Museum of Moving Pictures, I think, is one of the ones that has that.
Moving pictures. What is that?
Yeah, it's like the Museum of like movie. It's in LIC.
I'm never in Queens.
Well, you might end up going for that. It's nice. Bro, I hate feet.
Me too. Let's get into that. I hate feet. No, I think I said in the last podcast.
Yeah.
I love pretty feet. Like they have to look good and shit, but don't touch me with them.
No, feet disgust me. Everyone's feet. The only feet that are okay are my dog's feet and some babies.
Some babies?
Some babies.
Don't they all look the same?
No, because some baby. Okay, I should say the judgment's more on the parents that if you don't clean your baby's little toes, they're not going anywhere. Like there's no reason they should have all this little like sock stuff all up in their toes. That's disgusting. It's so gross. Like, if you're a baby and your feet stink, you're in a gross home.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay, if you're a baby and you stink, then there's a problem because babies should smell like straight out the cooch, which is a surprisingly pleasant smell, for like, 5 months or something? Like, that is the best smell. They smell like Johnson & Johnson straight out the cooch. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, I'm talking this like the babies can respond, but if they don't...
You're like, if you don't smell like...
Yeah. But if they don't, there's a problem at the home and you should be calling ACS. There's absolutely no reason a baby that small should be smelling.
Yeah.
Ugh. You know what else bothers me? This one's gonna, I don't... Okay.
Let's hear it.
I have a reason. Obese children. Because it's not their fault. It is not. It is 100% the parents' fault because a kid's gonna eat what's getting put in front of them, and they can't pay for anything. They don't know what they're eating. But if you're gonna feed this little kid all this junk, and you see they're getting bigger, they resemble a bowling ball, and then you just keep feeding the kid, the parents are the problem. I don't blame the kid at all. I'm actually sad for the kid, but that is one thing. I get it. I don't think this counts as like being offensive. Because if anything, I'm against bad parenting, not fat people. If you're a person of, working age and you want to be fat, that's on you. But if you're a fat kid, you have terrible parents, and I'm sorry. I can't stand it.
You're looking out for their health. Yeah.
Well, up until middle school age, because middle school, you get your little lunch money. It's like, all right, like you bought that extra pack of Oreos. You sure you needed that? I don't think you needed that.
Right.
But.
Do you know the Rizzler? That kid, the Rizzler?
The Rizzler?
Yeah. He's like some Italian kid. He hangs out with like all the Italian like content creators and shit. He always does like this face like I don't know. What? He's obese. Like that kid's obese. Like
it's a kid?
Yeah, he's probably like 8, maybe. He's big. Maybe younger.
Is that part of his personality though, being big? Like now that because the fact that you know him as the Rizzler.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. He's funny though. He's funny. The videos I be seeing on TikTok are funny, so.
I want to look him up. My phone's too far.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'll show you after the pod.
I wanted to see him.
You might fall in love, even though you just had this whole thing about
with an 8-year-old.
Not in love, fall in love with his personality, his page.
I don't know, man. It takes a lot. What's your criteria to like get hooked on somebody on social media? Because I feel like for me, it has to be so niche that it's like embarrassing.
I find anything like if I see one video and they can, pull that same concept off in multiple videos and have me laugh every single time, like you're getting a follow.
So you like the pages that use like what about the ones that use like the same audio over and over?
See, that's different. I'm talking more like just kind of like it's hard to explain, not skits, but all right. So for instance, like I just followed this guy today. He came up on my For You page, I want to say yesterday or 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. And he'll just be out in the spot and he'll go like, he'll go searching for like studs, right? Uh-huh. And he does like a voiceover. He's like, oh, look at her right there. Look at this stud. She's looking at me. And then he's like, I'm about to go in for the kill right now. And then he just does like this little dance or whatever in front of them. And the studs just look so confused. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then and he does it every time he's out. He finds all these studs and it's just so funny.
His thing is finding just studs though?
Yeah. But I don't think he's like serious about it, but he just goes for studs when he's out to like fuck with them.
Oh my God.
And then if he sees like a group of studs, instead of calling them like, a guy and his bros, like he's like, oh, her studders are coming instead of her brothers. Yo,
Yo, your humor.
my humor is all over the place. It's
See,
it
my
could be
humor
dry.
is. You ever heard of Karen bark?
No,
It's a dog.
of course it is. Of course it is.
It's a dog who wears a red sweater and a wig.
She would be the person to watch that.
And she's a realtor. And she sells houses.
She would be the person to watch it and laugh and laugh at those videos.
She's funny. Because what's crazier is it's a male dog named Biscuit in real life. But not to me. That's Karen Bark of Karen Bark Realty. And
Okay.
she has become a household name for me, my mom, my brother, my stepdad. And she's so funny and she has a voice. And if you look at her and you look at any realtor on the side of a bus or on a bench, she looks just like him. But she's a dog with a wig. And she has a pearl necklace sometimes. And sometimes she twerks a little bit.
Wait, so is it a guy or a girl?
It's in real life, it's a boy dog. But Karen Bark
They, them.
is a woman.
They, them.
And then she has her friend, who's not her friend. They have a love-hate relationship, Susan, which is another dog. And Susan talks
Is it a
like
guy
this. I don't know what breed or gender, whatever Susan is.
Okay.
But Susan talks like this. And Karen.
This is the content that she would show me probably, and I will have the straightest face.
No. There was this one video. She's talking about a house. Yeah. And she says something about like the light or something. And then she goes, "Thank you, Thomas Edison." And it was the funniest thing. But you have to see it in context. I promise you. No, don't give me that face.
I promise you I will have the straightest face.
No.
I will laugh because I'm going to be laughing at the fact that you think this is funny.
No. And then she had a Christmas reel and it was her singing. But she put so much emphasis on certain words. She was like, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Bro, she sounded just like that. I did it so good. And she's the best. I gotta send you her videos. You'll be a fan. She even has what's that thing? A cameo. And I was thinking about buying one from her.
You would do that.
I fucking love Karen Bark.
You would.
I do. Listen, you got your little stud finder, and I got I got a dog who sells homes.
Touche.
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. Like I was a big fan of like that one dog that, "Let me do it for you." You remember that?
What?
Oh my God. You're not on dog Instagram.
Yeah, no.
There's this dog. You know dogs, they're really long snouts and they're like super skinny and they're always kind of shaky and look like they have to pee?
Yeah.
So there was one, and I don't know, they like made it into a cartoon. I don't know what the original video was, but they have one of the dog's nose going down into a Pringle can all the way down to the bottom. And they just kept making different videos and the audio was, "Let me do it for you." And I think the original audio, I think, might have been Miss Piggy. Like that was the voice, if I'm not doing it good enough for you.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. "Let me do it for you." And that was a good one for me. I just
Hilarious.
love dogs. I love dogs on Instagram. I love dogs everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see you looking at me like you're not picking up what I'm putting down. You don't love dogs like that?
Oh, I love dogs, yeah.
Not enough, because I don't see it resonating with you. I feel like I'm saying this.
I'm still like on the content part, like you finding that funny.
What part? The Karen Bark?
Yeah.
She's hilarious.
I think I'm good on my side of TikTok.
No, you're not.
I'd rather watch a guy try to get at stuff.
No, life is better when you follow these pages. It's so great. You don't see when I cry all the time because of my feed? So, okay, just for context, on my close friends, I post like nearly every freaking time that I cry from seeing something on Instagram. And it's usually because a dog died or somebody's talking about their dog that died or a dog recovered or a dog got adopted or whatever.
Super emotional.
Yes.
You're super emotional.
But so what?
No, I'm not. It's
I
not
am
a bad
so
thing.
emotional. I am nothing but emotions.
You are.
And I think that is a healthy thing. My eyes,
100%.
they get emptied out like every 8 hours or something. Like I cried because I had a cute dream today. I napped. And then I woke up. It was cute because I helped somebody get a dog adopted. And I was crying in the dream. And I woke up and my eyes are wet. I was like, this is crazy.
Oh.
Yep. I am a running wholesome Instagram feed all the time in my brain, in real life, all the time.
Last time I cried off a dream The dream was about me dying in 2 weeks.
Did the 2 weeks from that day pass?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was about to say your time is
I
running up,
was
bud.
living in fear for those 2 weeks after
Oh
that
my
dream.
gosh. But what happened in the dream? Like they told you have 2 weeks left?
Yeah, multiple people.
No, that's wicked. No, for me, I'd be like, nah, somebody's telling me something, or
I just, it was at my mom's place. It was back when I was living at my mom's, and I think I was working overnights at the time, so I was sleeping during the day, and I probably woke up around, I don't know, like 8 o'clock around that time. But the dream felt super real. It started off with me like in a park. I don't know what park it was. It seemed like Prospect Park, and I was on a horse, and there was like multiple people around me with horses. I saw like celebrities too, like, you know, Young Thug, Sexy Red, like on a fucking horse. It was fucking weird. Yeah. So I'm over here like, what the fuck are we doing? So then people start directing us to like, you know, go in a single file, and then we go like in this fucking like circle around this fountain, and I'm looking to my right, it's like the gate of the park, and I see like family members. I see my mom, my sister, my grandmother there.
Were you at your own funeral? Like,
I don't know what I was doing. I really don't know what it was for. It was like I don't know if it was like a graduation type of ceremony or like me being released from somewhere. I don't know. And then it cuts to me greeting my family, and then I go to my grandmother's apartment in Sunset Park, and everyone's there just like eating, like having like, you know, food and shit like that. And then I step outside, and my mom comes with me, and she's like hugging me. She's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here." Da da da. So again, I don't know where I went. So then her aunt comes outside. She's talking to us, and she just had this weird face on her, like a real concerned face, so like a sad face. So after she spoke to us, I was like, "Titi, are you okay?" And she looks at me. She just puts her head down and starts shaking her head. I'm like, "What? Like what's wrong?"
yeah.
She's like, "You only got 2 weeks left." I was like, "What do you mean by that?"
Yeah.
And then she just walks inside, doesn't say nothing. She just says that and walks away. And then cuts to another part where I'm walking with my mom and my grandmother, and we run into some girl that I have on Instagram. She's playing with her daughter in the park. And I go up, talk to her for a bit, and she tells her daughter, like, "Oh, like, let's go back inside the house." So I'm like, "Why are you leaving so abruptly?"
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, "Is everything all right?" So she looks at me with another, like that same face my aunt had. And I looked at her, I was like, 2 weeks? She just nods her head, yeah, and walks inside.
No,
And I woke up, and the room the energy in the room was like super heavy and like dark. I always had paranormal experiences at my mom's crib.
I was gonna say, like, for me, I was like, maybe you had, like, not to get into the woo-ha-ha business, but maybe you had like something like kind of like over you, kind of, I would say, like controlling the dream or whatever, like on some like some demon type.
I firmly
entity.
believe there's an entity in my mom's place, and it only fucked with me. And no one ever believed me. There was a time like 2 years ago, I was on my bed. I think I came back inside from, you know, hanging out. It's probably like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm in my bed with the lamp on, scrolling on my phone. And all of a sudden, mind you, everyone's asleep, right? I hear like these heavy footsteps downstairs, like someone's wearing Timbs, like dragging their feet on the floor. So I'm over here pausing whatever I'm doing. And I'm like, the fuck is that? You know? So then I start hearing a voice, like a deep voice, but I can't understand what they're saying. Like it's speaking in some type of like tongues or something. And then the footsteps start coming up the stairs. Mind you, my mom's my room in my mom's crib is right in front of the steps. And I heard the steps, like the wood from the steps just like cracking, like when someone's walking up the stairs. And then I hear the footsteps in front of my door, like pacing back and forth. So I'm like, someone has to be going to the bathroom right now. Like this can't be something like paranormal. And then it stops. So I'm just like, maybe I'm just like, I don't know, I'm tired. I'm like delirious right now.
Yeah.
I kid you not, probably like 3 minutes after that, my bed starts to shake. It felt like someone was on each end of the bed trying to shake me off the bed. And it happened for like 10 seconds, I want to say. And I was just like shocked. Like I didn't know what to do.
This is real life or a dream?
No, it's real.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't dreaming at all.
Uh-huh.
And then I was just like, questioning. I went on Twitter. I was like, New York earthquake.
Yeah.
Did we just have an earthquake or something like that? Nothing. And probably like 2 minutes after that, it happened again. And I said, if I look over to my left on the headboard, there's a rosary. If I see the rosary like fucking like dangling all over the place, like I'm not bugging out. And I went to go look, and it was like all over the place, like just shaking uncontrollably.
Yeah, some demon shit. My ghost stories are a lot nicer. I know who my ghosts are. My ghosts are family.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Lucky you. Yeah.
I'm about to sage this fucking place after you leave.
My mom.
Because I don't need you speaking that fucker in here.
My mom, nah, he's stuck over there in my mom's crib.
Actually, I didn't deal with the ghost. My ex was dealing with a ghost, but I was there. There was this one time, before I talk about the happy ghosts, I was at my ex's place and we're sleeping and we just hear something and it's like metal things like clinking together. There was no metal in his room. There was nothing to be clinking. Like nothing was moving. We were like close to sound asleep. And I was like, what was that? And he was just like as if he had dealt with this shit before.
So you didn't know at the time that
I had no idea what was going on. But he told me he's dealt with like ghost stuff before. I just didn't know in that apartment. And I was just like, what's going on? He's like, I think it's some ghost shit. And I was like, no way. I was like,
that shit is very real.
I was like, what? And I was like, all right, it's fine. I said, maybe it's not. I was like, maybe I'm bugging. It could just be me. It's fine. And then it happens again. And I was like, I kind of squeezed his arm. I said, what the fuck is going on? Because he wasn't a snuggler when he went to sleep because he used to sweat. And I said, nah, we snuggling tonight.
Yeah.
And I was just like, give me your arm. And I wrapped it around me. And we were talking about it. And then like he started talking to it and he was telling it to like stop, like kind of like cut it out or whatever. And nothing was happening. As soon as we get quiet again, that shit starts up. I was like, no.
You were scared?
Oh, shit breaks. And then, bro, because we went out that night, so we were both a little lit. And he gets up with the Palo Santo and starts burning it. And he's yelling at it. And he's saying, get the fuck out of my house.
Not now.
And I'm looking at him, I said, don't yell at it. I was just like, because we deal with ghosts very differently. Like for me, it's more so like, you play nice because you don't want to scare anything or not scare anything, but
Provoke.
like interrupt and whatever they're doing is like, just please leave.
That's hilarious.
And he was like, no, I don't want this thing in my house. And he was like, you have to leave. We're opening windows. Like, I was just like, I could go home. Like, it was the middle of the night. I was not going to go home. But I was just like, I don't want to be here.
That's so funny.
And after all his yelling and stuff, like, it stopped. And I was like, okay, I think we stopped it. But I was shitting brick. Like, because I never dealt with, I only deal with my own ghosts. I'm not dealing with anybody else's ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that. But the happy ones, I forget how she's related to me. I don't know if she was like my mom's cousin or whatever, or someone, whatever. She had died of cancer. And from what I've been told, she had long hair before she passed. I could be screwing this all up. I'm sorry. But like we used to always see this ghost like going to my room. Well, I never saw it. My grandma used to always see it. And she used to see it when I would be at my dad's house. And she'd be like, oh, like Erica? Because I had long hair. I still have long hair, whatever. And like obviously it wasn't me. And it was like the little ghost girl going into my room. And like everyone just kind of accepted that was who it was. And then I was like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I never see a ghost. And then I was in high school. And it was this weird thing. I used to do my homework in the dark because I just like being in the dark because I was all depressed in high school. And I used to put the flashlight on my phone, and I had a bunk bed, so I used to put it over me on the, like tucked under the top bunk so I could see it, whatever. And then in my peripheral, I would see like a shaking figure in a fetal position or when it was cold in my room. No, but it wasn't bad because it was her. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can see that and that doesn't like bug me out. And so I used to just turn the heater on and I would throw a blanket in the corner where I used to see the shadow, and then the shadow would go away.
So it was a shadow. You didn't see like an actual...
It was a figure of a shadow, but I didn't see a person. I didn't see like a physical thing. But every time I saw that, it went away when I did exactly... Every time I put the heater on and I put a blanket on it, it would go away. And I thought I was bugging, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to feed into this. If that's what I think it is, and if that's what makes it go away, whatever it is, it's fine. And then one night on Halloween, my best friend at the time, she stood over And she told me when she got up in the middle of the night, she saw a little girl on the floor because me and my best friend, we would sleep in the same bed. So it means that like there was no space for her on the bed because me and my best friend were on the bed. So she was on the floor and in the same fetal position. When I woke up, she was like, I saw her. And I was like, nah. And I only told her about that little girl like once, even though I used to see her more frequently. I just didn't want to be the ghost girl. And she told me, she was like, remember that girl you told me about like, you know, a year ago or whatever? And she was like, yeah, she was right next to the bed. And I was just like, okay, so this is fine. This is fine. Like, okay, we're good.
That's insane. She wasn't creeped out?
No, because she's had her own ghost stuff, and I feel like more often than not, people have dealt with their little ghost things, but nobody talks about it unless they have somebody else who has like a really like serious, like not serious, but like real situation where they've seen something. I'm a witchy kind of gal, and
I feel like I'm somewhat connected in that world too.
Oh, you would be a little crystal boy. You better start talking to the moon.
No, I love the moon though, but I'm not gonna talk to the moon.
Why not?
I say I tell the moon it looks pretty tonight, you know?
Yeah, but you don't like talk about your own things to the moon. Because like, okay, full transparency, like, because God's not my thing, but the moon and the sun are.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. And so
I hear you.
I feel like I talk to the moon. I just kind of like, or I'll have like my little reflections or whatever, thinking about like my life and stuff. Because I see the moon straight out my window. Like for I think like 1 week out of every month, the moon is placed out there. So that's my thing. So you want to talk to the moon?
I mean,
who you talk to? The voices. Let me stop.
The voices in my head. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've probably spoken to the moon before. Like I like the moon. Like,
what's your thing with the moon?
It just I really can't explain it like that. But I want to say last year, like I was driving the bus and there was a night where the moon just looked fucking huge and just really beautiful and days. Like yeah. And it just it sent chills down my whole body. And then like ever since that day, like if the moon's like super like, you know, bright or like you could see if it's bigger or not, red, more of a bluish hue.
It was
like,
red last night.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't check.
Yeah, I saw it on my window and it was red. I was like, ugh.
There was, I want to say a couple weeks ago, the moon looked different like every single day. Like it was at that blue moon that happened like not so long ago. It was the blue moon. It was like super orange. The next day, the following day was like super bright and white and like really large. And I was just like in awe every time I saw it.
One thing that amazes me, and I know a lot of this is because I finally wear my contacts and I can actually see what I'm seeing. But the fact that we can see the craters of the moon with like the naked eye. Like, have you ever looked at the moon? Like, do you have good eyesight?
Yeah.
Or do you wear contacts or glasses? Or you can see, wow, look at you. Well,
gifted.
Yeah.
Blessed.
When you look at the moon, like, are you ever like, whoa, like, cause that bugs me out every time. Like to see like the actual little like dots and circles and craters and stuff. That, I
like looking at that. Yeah.
Scratches a part of my brain. This is like a really weird part of like my brain, my beliefs and stuff to put on the internet. That's why I keep saying like, not to be like, but it's like, this is 100% me. It's just one of those things that I know turn some people off. But I don't know. When I see the moon and I'm able to look at it and I can see it, I just think, it's going to sound so sappy. It's just one of those things where I'm just kind of like, how lucky we are, or like how like, I can't even find the word for it. It's just to be able to see the moon and to see it that close and just without a telescope. Like imagine with a telescope. Like that's one thing I would never pay for. But if someone got me a telescope and I can see planets or I can see the moon, bro, I would cry every night looking at the sky. The other night, I was in Pennsylvania and it was dark. And because in the city we don't see stars. And we see some, we don't see a bunch. And so I was able to see, don't yawn.
Sorry.
I was able to see the stars, but it was like, I was able to see the depth of how far some stars were from another. So I felt like I was seeing like a cluster of like, not a like we're in a galaxy obviously, but like a cluster of something, like of another, whatever of stars.
Like
I don't know.
Milky Way or something?
Yeah, but we're in the Milky Way, aren't we? But something like that though, where like you can see the swoosh of stars. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't, I cannot contain myself when I talk about the moon and stars and the sun.
Do you know about that app that you could like put
I think I know what you're talking about. So when I saw the stars, when I saw the stars that day. I had just, this was at a wedding party I was doing, and I had said, I was obviously gushing over the stars, and one of the guys that was there, I had said something about like one of the brightest stars. I thought it was Polaris, because over here, like you always point out Polaris. And he was like, "Did you know it's actually, I think it was like Jupiter or something." I said, "No." Yeah. He pulls out his phone, and he's showing me.
And it shows you, right?
And I was like, "Ah, that's a planet!" Oh my God. Like screw celebrities and all that stupid stuff. Show me a planet. Oh, I was just, I was so happy.
She's so geeked out over this.
Dude, like, if you want to get excitement and joy out of me, like I said, the planetarium, take me somewhere that I could see the universe. And I don't know. And in a weird way, like I said, this goes back to weird, like, coincidence, spirituality, yada, yada, yada. My middle name is Star. It's like it was meant to be. Like, it's just like, you know, I have an acre of land on the moon. Really? Somebody gifted, I don't know how legit this is. It probably isn't legit at all, but somebody had gifted me a certificate, and it tells you the exact acre of the moon that you like technically own through the certificate. You know how you get like a star named after you and stuff? Yeah, but I have an acre on the moon. Who you know that got an acre on the moon?
Nobody.
And I have a necklace. This one's real. It has like legit like sediment or like dust or whatever from the moon. I think you told me about that one. Inside of it. That's cool as heck. And I got
it right now?
Yeah, it's in my room.
See it. I gotta see it later.
And I have a necklace that shows the moon the date I was born. Me and the moon be like this. Oh my gosh.
I love that for you.
I love all those things in the sky.
How much is a telescope? Now that you said you would never pay for one. Okay,
I feel like if I'm gonna get a telescope, I'm gonna get the best one.
Right.
So I want the ones with all the bells and the whistles, and I feel like that's gonna be a really expensive telescope.
It's an investment.
So I have no idea. I assume over 1,000, but I think that there are some that you can get for less than 500. That I assume you still see the moon, because obviously if you see the moon with your eyes from here, you can see them with a regular telescope. But I want to see the Martians.
Martians. Do you believe in aliens?
Bro, of course. Okay. But not in the green kind of way. Just in like we're not the only things living in this, universe, world, not. Whatever. They could be like other people. I don't freaking know. But, there's this, there's this song. Ernie from Sesame Street?
Yeah.
He sings this song. And it's about how he doesn't want to live on the moon. And this is my mom's jam. And she put me onto it. And now my Spotify starts recommending it. And I'll be working out and I'll be lifting heavy. Stop yawning. I'll be working out and I'm lifting heavy and I'm in some, And then Ernie comes on. And then he was like, I would like to live on the...
So you listen to that while you lift?
Bro, yes. And you ever heard the Elmo song where he's like, splish, splash, Elmo's taking a bath. Bro, like, Sesame Street got some bops. This is a weird, corner of my life.
Oh, my God.
Sesame Street has really good songs. You are sick of me right now.
First the dogs, the real estate dog, now Sesame Street and her.
Bro, this is me. This is
her playlist.
This is what keeps me young.
Listen, if it works, it works.
That sounds a little backhanded.
No, not backhanded at all.
Child.
No. Wait, favorite childhood show? Go. All right, top 3.
Okay. Okay, wait. One that's really good because I started watching it again and I didn't realize how good it was. The Bear in the Big Blue House.
Bear in the Big Blue
House. The Bear in the Big Blue House. It's a big old bear. It looks like a golden doodle in the big blue house.
With the person in the suit?
And he sings a song to the moon at the end of every episode. You see how it comes back to the moon every time?
Just full circle.
Like the moon.
Like the moon. Full circle like the moon.
And there's this little character. He's like a green, white, and blue thing. And he's always on some crackhead energy. Like, he's always like, and, oh my gosh. Okay, so Bear in the Big Blue House.
That's number 1. Or is it no particular order?
Yeah, no particular order. Okay. Then one show, we're going to bring it to PBS.
Ooh.
It's, I think it was called It's a Big, Big World. That it had a sloth.
The sloth?
It was like, it's a big world. It's a big, big world. And it was a sloth.
Is it the sloth or the monkey?
To the moon too. Oh my God.
Is it the sloth or the monkey?
Monkey. No, you're thinking Between the Lions, right? Because Between the Lions had that weird, funky puppet guy and the two lions and the monkeys and all the animals, and they were in the library.
No, not that one.
All right. That was a good show, though. But the sloth one, yeah, I have to show you this after the
You
pod.
gotta show me, yeah.
Okay, those two, these are like really like deep in my brain. Like childhood, I'm thinking like young.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking like before school even was a thing. Those two, and a show that just got me going, and the third one. I don't know why I vividly remember this one. My Gym Partner's a Monkey.
My Gym Partner's a Monkey.
It was on Cartoon Network, and the theme song was "My Gym Partner's a Monkey, 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 Monkey." Did you play like games as a kid, like on like the computers?
Yeah.
Like, did you know what like Mini Clip was?
Oh my god, yeah.
Okay.
You know remember the Office game where you like beat up the person in the office?
When you have to like not get caught.
Yeah.
Then this
was
one's
fun.
gonna sound crazy. There was one called like Peeping Tom. I didn't know what a Peeping Tom was, and you had to make this would be so cancelable now. And you make him peep over at the naked girls every time they're not looking.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
There was that game. Did you know Nitrome?
Nitrome.
It was a really good game site. They had games like Skywire where you're like on the Skywire thing and you had to make it do the loop-de-loops.
I've probably been on
Oh my
it
gosh!
before.
And then obviously everybody knows Cool Math Games.
I don't. Cool Math games?
Math games.
Oh, math
Cool
games. Oh no.
It wasn't, but that's the thing. It's misleading. No.
Wait, Cool Math Games. Wait.
Yes, it was the only site that wasn't blocked on school computers.
Cool Math Games. That sounds so familiar.
No,
I might have been on that.
Nah, you 100%. You grew up in New York. You knew Cool Math Games.
Yeah, that does ring a bell now.
Cool
actually.
Math Games is a thing.
Yeah, you're right. Those are your top 3 shows, though.
Oh yeah.
You went from the shows to miniclip.com to everything.
What were your shows?
Child, like
Yeah, like before 5.
before 5.
Or as early as your memory goes.
Cyber Chase is definitely up there.
Really?
Cyber Chase is definitely up
You
there.
understood it that young? Because those are pretty complicated things. I used to watch it like my mom used to do my ponytails in the morning, and I was like, yo, this is too much math for 7 in the morning.
Yeah, it was a lot, but I enjoyed it.
Oh wow.
You remember Zoom?
Zoom.
How old are you again?
I'm 24.
I got 4 years on you.
So what?
I feel like Zoom was probably
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry.
Zoom.
No.
It wasn't a cartoon, nothing like that. It was like,
That's a song that's in a movie. That's from Xenon.
oh shit, you're right.
Yeah, I know.
I forgot about Xenon. Yeah, but there was something similar to that song on that show though.
Okay.
But Zoom was
You gotta
like,
remember the show because
it was
not called Zoom.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
I'm gonna show you when we get off this. Watch.
All right.
You're gonna look dumb as hell.
Okay. There's Umi Zoomy. We're too old for that. That came out when we were older.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Team Umi
But
Zoomy.
what else? Maya Miguel. That was a great one. I always
You
loved.
liked I used to play the cooking game on their website.
It's Maya Miguel. I love that show. Dragon Tales.
Dragon Tales, I liked it. Dragon Tales with some cookies and milk. That was my pairing. That was my original iPad kid situation. Cookies and milk, Dragon Tales.
That was a great one.
And that got me into crystals because one of the first crystals I got into was opal because of that freaking something. I wish with all my heart. Yeah, it was opal.
Wow. That's funny.
So what I was going to say before, because I didn't want to interrupt you. You said
Go
Zoom.
ahead.
Did you know Zabumafu? Zabumafu was a lemur.
That's what I was talking about. That
It
monkey.
was?
Yes.
It's a lemur.
It's a monkey though.
No,
isn't it?
no, it's a lemur. A lemur is a lemur. A lemur is like from I like to move it. That's a lemur.
They're not in the
and
monkey
that's what
family?
No, lemurs are just lemurs.
Sorry.
And
Shout out to the lemurs.
oh my God, it was like, where are we going? I don't know. How do we get there? Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
And you and Zabuma. Oh my God, I love
was the show I was
Zabumafu.
talking about.
And he used to do his little spin and come to life, bro. I love Zabumafu.
That was a good show.
Oh my God. One time, a guy had gotten me like a jumbo sloth and I was walking around LES with it. And this one guy was like, yo, she got a Zabumafu. And like, though I wanted to correct him, but I was like, I like Zabumafu. It's fine.
Yeah.
And that's like one of those little weird memories I have. But Zabumafu,
That's
I love me
hilarious.
some Zabumafu. The actual lemur died.
No.
A few years
Really?
ago. Yep. They
Damn,
live pretty long, but
that is a long time. I'm trying to think of any other shows real quick.
Zaboomy.
Caillou. I was big on Caillou.
That's terrible. You were probably a terrible kid. Caillou is the whiniest. There's a petition to end Caillou from parents because Caillou teaches kids to be the whiniest, most like children ever. Have you noticed he like you know a show that pissed me off? Max and Ruby.
Max
was the two bunnies. Ruby and Max. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he used to make his little stupid mud cakes, and he was always messing shit up. Oh my gosh, I couldn't stand Max, and he used to always be like, with his stupid. He barely even spoke.
I didn't really watch that show.
He spoke in mischief.
I didn't watch that show.
Good, but you watched Caillou. So
Caillou didn't do that to me though.
Caillou was talking like this and crying. Yeah. It was like if they allowed it, he would have hit his sister in the show. He hated that little girl.
Yeah. I was also big on Pokemon too. I loved watching Pokemon.
You know, someone put me onto Pokemon like 2 years ago. It's funny. It's good stuff.
It's good.
But that's something I have to watch with someone because I can't be into it by myself. But Pokemon's fun.
But like the
it was the first
season. Yeah, those are the
not the
best
new Pokemon
ones.
stuff.
Yeah. What else? It's not a show, but the greatest. People might disagree, might agree. I don't know. Toy Story is the greatest Disney movie of all time.
You know, someone just asked me the other day, they said, "Oh, what's your favorite movie?" And I said, "Don't hate me because it's gonna be a real childish answer." He was like, "Okay, what?" And I was like, "Toy Story." And he looked at me and he was like,
"Give me some."
I said, whenever anybody asks me what's your favorite movie, the first thing that comes to mind every single time is always Toy Story. How would you rank them?
1 and 2, the way it is.
Like number one is number one?
Yeah, and 2 is number 2.
Oh.
Because it's honestly a toss up. Like I love both of them. I really do. It's just something about, it's like a tie for me really, but my favorite parts, like whenever I see the Pizza Planet part, I just get so hyped when I see that part. I love that part. When they go to Sid's house and they're stuck there, and when they're under the tire of the truck and they're like fighting and all that.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, when they like have to match the
rocket. Suicide.
Yeah.
That part when I saw it as an adult, that was wicked
insane,
to me.
Yeah.
He's just broken.
Just that whole movie. And then the second one, just them trying to find out.
Loved me. That's my favorite part.
But yeah,
and the suitcase scene.
Yeah, that one.
Every time I go to an airport, I think about my suitcase on the conveyor belts and stuff, and them jumping around. Oh, I love that part. Okay, not to be a geek, but the sound design on that part, because you get to hear the clips clicking and you hear like the little feet, like whoever the Foley artist was for that.
And zippers and everything.
Oh, or when they opened the one, I think it had like golf balls or something.
Yeah,
they all
you hear
came out.
Golf balls.
That
one.
Oh, does something to me.
Yep. Yeah. She understands.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So my order is actually 2, 4, 3, 1.
2, 4, 3, 1. I would put 3 last.
Wow.
3 was good, but 4 was better in my opinion.
Yeah, 2, 4, 3, 1.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh, my fault. I thought you put 4 last.
No.
2, 4, 3, 1. Yeah, 1 is definitely better than 3.
Well, I don't know. The first one, it didn't do it to me, but I also feel like the first one didn't do it for me because it was more so about like Woody and Buzz like not getting along. Like in my head, because that one came out in 1999. So when I was watching Toy Story,
earlier than that, 96.
You sure?
2 came out 99.
Oh, okay. And then that one's my favorite. And so for me, it was just kind of like the fight between, like I said, because I was born in 2000, the freshest Toy Story for me was always the second one. So I always knew like Woody and Buzz being like buddies.
Right.
So to see them not being friends in the first one was like messing with me because I saw the second one first. And I was just kind of like, not a fan. And I just didn't like that there was like a universe where they just weren't friends.
I loved it. It was the jealousy thing. He liked Andy.
You're a toy!
You are a toy!
Nah, and Tom Hanks does so great with the voice acting in
yeah.
that. That's a whole other thing.
Who
That's
did
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen, yeah.
From Home Improvement
Right.
and Santa Claus.
To infinity and beyond.
So yeah, so that one goes last for me. And also just like from like my geeky standpoint, the animation, like have you looked at the animation between movies?
Of course.
The first one is terrible.
It's
The
bad.
dog, the evil dog, he's so boxy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like that whole thing, it's so bad, but it's great. It was the first full feature animation film in that type of animation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so hyped because I was in a textbook in college and I was like, Toy Story's in a textbook in college.
I love that.
But yeah, so that one goes last for me. And then next up is 3, just because 3 was my favorite for a really long time. And then when 4 came out, because I was like, we don't need a 4th. We're fine without a 4th. We're okay.
I was happy.
I was okay with them going to Bonnie and everything was fine. But then to like close out like the whole thing of like, well, what happens when a toy is like done? Like when they're, nobody wants to play with it anymore, the technology, whatever. I was just like, you know what? That makes sense. I was like, that one really closed it out. And then the second, what I said was, then the third, no.
You said 2, 4, 3, 1.
Oh.
You were going
3.
backwards.
Yes.
You said the reasoning for 1, the reasoning for 3.
Yes.
Now the
Okay.
reasoning for 4.
Yes. And then so 4, like I said, the reasoning was just because I feel like it really closed it out. And then the second one, it just always had a place in my heart because of Jessie. Jesse's storyline kills every time. And the more that I grow up and like, I have like my own versions of that where like I outgrow things and I can't help but think about seeing like when Jesse's under the bed and she moves Jesse over and she grabs the cell phone or like the telephone or whatever.
Yeah.
That scene and she grabs the makeup and like I always, it's a weird thing. I always see myself from my mother's eyes because my mom always kind of like, she always kind of tells me like how she feels about seeing me grow up and stuff. And I can't help but see myself in third person through those eyes almost all the time. And so anytime I outgrow something, anytime I throw out certain clothes that I outgrew, like not outgrew like physically, just outgrew in terms of like, oh, that's not my style anymore. Like I'm just not into that. I always think about that scene, like for whatever reason. I just feel like the impact of that whole storyline on my life is the reason that gets the #1 spot. But now we got Toy Story 5 coming up. And I thought we didn't need it, but now I feel like we do.
It's essential, actually.
Yeah, because it's the
essential.
iPad kid generation. So I'm like, all right. I think this one, I feel like this one's going to hit more because people are going to cry because like they see it happen in real time.
Relatable.
Yeah. The kids won't get it. Toy Story wasn't for the kids after Toy Story 2.
My son loves all of them.
Yeah, good for him. But like, he doesn't appreciate it the way that we do.
When
you took him to see the movies, you were still going for yourself too. You were making sure you made it to the first viewing for you.
I mean, he didn't
Not
see it in the
for
movie
him.
theaters yet.
See, look at him.
But for the 5th one, we will.
All right, but he'll just be like, meh. Is your kid an iPad kid?
Yeah, he is.
See?
But
the movie's about him.
That's why he'll probably like it. He'll relate to it.
But he won't get it yet.
I mean, by the time it gets out, I think, when is it coming out? 2025?
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll be 7.
Yeah. He'll be like stupid toys.
He likes his toys, though.
Goes in his iPhone 27. No. Well, I've yapped enough for today.
That was enough for you?
You were sick of me today.
I wasn't sick of you.
I feel like the yawning said enough.
Listen, I just worked all day. I've been working since 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, now we're complaining.
I'm not complaining.
Uh-huh.
I'm just giving you a valid excuse.
Oh, excuse and valid, those don't belong in the same sentence.
In my world, they do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Take him home.
That was too dramatic for me. I'm not that comfortable yet. Well, thank you guys for listening and watching wherever you listen and watch your podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe, or whatever your streaming service tells you to do. Do you have any last words for the people at home?
Any last words? Nah. My bed's calling me. I gotta go to sleep.
All right. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Later.
Bye.